times when I feel like I wanted to be famous, but I feel like I want to do it with the right reason and do it the right way. But in terms of having no talent and just being known for the sex tape and that dumb reality show that have been going on for years now, it's obvious to me that the Kardashian family are very tone deaf and don't care what everybody else says because they're known for creating so much controversies in their careers, so-called careers, where they don't even have talents of what they do. I mean, Kim Kardashian as a businesswoman is not talented. Modeling is talented. Singing, rapping, acting, and doing art is talent. Like, whatever it is that y'all do, being a social media influencer gone wrong is not talented. They got famous for the wrong reasons because of that sex tape scandal. While we all know that, according to Ray J, Kim, and Chris, all three of them were involved in the sex tape scandal. And so the point I'm trying to make here is that when it comes to the Kardashians, I feel like 9 times out of 10, the media loves to just give them the attention. But the problem with that is that once you continue to talk about them, they're going to get exposed right on the dot. You know, as far as like Kim goes, being a mom, she's proven to us that even being a tone deaf parent, you could just prepare your child for the world by having them on social media and dancing to the 304 artists like Ice Spice. But you see why Kanye West is being a father that he is worrying for his child. And you wonder why, you know, the Kardashian people and their fan base are more toxic and more delusional than ever. So it's like no matter what you say, they will always believe in their own lies and try to justify their own actions. So it's no wonder why people cannot stand those people, and I'm one of those people as well. So let's get to the video.
People and abuse them, and this is what this lady has always done for fame, money, greed.
For all those voices out there that have been screwed over by someone powerful.
You know, it took a while for me to transition from fear and depression into fight mode.
This past month, a man by the name of David Levinson has been going viral for walking around LA with the sign writing Kim Kardashian ruined my life.com. Kim Kardashian has been accused of scamming David, who alleges that Kimoji, the mobile app with Kim Kardashian themed emojis, was all a stolen idea. David says he lost everything from his wife to his house, all while Kim profited off of his work making millions of dollars. David is now living in his car and he's making ends meet, but he says that his mission is to expose the dark side of Kim Kardashian and her.
I mean, when you think about it, everybody has been exposed in the Kardashian clan for years. I mean, they all got some dark secrets because of their dumb reality show. And especially if they have something going on in their personal life, they're going to turn that into a storyline, into a reality show, which is a dumb move on their part. And second of all, if they have nothing else to offer in this world, then being a social media influencer, then they don't deserve to have crazy fans they got now. And so what David decided to do was to continue to expose the hypocrisy of the Kardashians, lying about surgeries, lying about everything that they've done on TV and in real life, because what stays in the dark comes to light. Unfortunate that I've seen stories on Kylie Jenner lying about getting lip fillers and getting her butt done and carrying on. And we all know that Kendall had some work done on her nose and all of that. I mean, y'all look beautiful before. Like, why would you need to ruin your life and your body for attention?
Just for context, David was a once successful entrepreneur, software developer, and father of 4 before he realized he'd come to encounter a nightmare of a business deal with Kim Kardashian and Kris Jenner.
You guys, we have got to boycott the Kardashian Jenner products and sponsors. Friends don't let friends buy products from fraudsters.
David's partnership deal for Kimoji eventually fell apart after a series of phone calls had taken place, leading Kim Kardashian to take on the project solo. David claimed that Kim had already trademarked the business under her own name, all behind his back, giving her complete ownership of his business idea. David continues to speak out about how this has financially impacted his life and that he has also gotten a divorce from his wife. In 2019, David filed a lawsuit against Kim for alleged theft of his idea and trademark for the Kimoji app, seeking a whopping $300 million.
Wouldn't it be fair if the wife would have just stood by her husband's side even after what this witch did to him? Like, why would you want to leave somebody who is at the lowest point? You could have just stood by their side and built them up and have them fight harder to win the lawsuit against the Kardashian clan. But instead, you just want to leave them and let them be miserable without even trying to be there for them. And not to mention, you know, after everything he's been through by losing his family, divorce, and now he's literally fighting for his life, you know, try to get his manhood back so he can move on and try to create a foundation of how not to trust influencers. So the wife, she took the L by just leaving him instead of stand by his side and fight with him.
He also told Daily Mail that he wants to push forth and reveal the truth about the Kardashians and refuses to be silenced anymore, even if that means something were to happen to him. David was also allegedly left with $200,000 worth of legal
everything
fees,
about her
where
just
he
fake.
initially tried to fight back the lawsuit against Kim, but knowing Kim is someone with all the power and resources, he says that he is now unfortunately having to pay that off, all while working 2 jobs and living in his car. In David's Indiegogo campaign, he explains how he lost not only his businesses, his business ideas, and intellectual property, but also his life savings. Writing, "The trauma I've endured from this situation has been debilitating. Living in a Kardashian-infested world has made this experience especially triggering. Everywhere I turn, there they are. The media pushes them onto us against our will, day after day. They're undeniably avoidable. A few weeks ago, I built a website on my iPhone to share my story with the world. Keeping this experience buried inside has been eating me alive for years. I was scared to speak up because of the Kardashians' heavy influence in the media. However, I finally found the strength to stand up for myself and get my life back on the trajectory it was on before it took a turn for the worse. I cannot hide this story from the public any longer. I am currently working out of my car while working 2 jobs. I am sacrificing a comfortable living situation so I can campaign this message across the nation. I'm driving across several states to get my message across to as many people as possible. I know that I'm not the first person who the Kardashian family has screwed over, and I know I won't be the last. I'm hoping that by me telling my story will encourage others who have been a victim of their shady business practices to also find the courage to come forward and tell their story. I want to put an end to the Kardashians taking advantage of small entrepreneurs and getting away with it. Your donation will make a difference, and I'm forever grateful for your support." David was
I'm gonna need y'all to understand something. If you're doing business with someone, make sure you do a background check on them people before you decide to say yes to everything. Contract, money, everything. Make sure that the person is the right partner for your business. The same if you want to be your own business by drawing for people, you charge them $50, and you have to make sure you keep your word instead of just waiting to a week to do it. And as for David, at least he did what he could have done by creating a site and exposing the devil. Like, that is pretty much a genius move on his part, basically.
To head to the Met Gala with his sign to spread the message of how Kim screwed him over.
Who's down to go to the Met Gala? Well, not to the Met Gala, but you guys know. I'm actually looking at last-minute flights from Arizona to New York City right now. A few blocks away from the Met Gala. Much bigger sign this time. If anybody wants to come hang out, I'll be here all night.
David said that he had to pay out of his own pocket to spread this message and that his living situation isn't the best, but that doing this was an important duty for him to really get his message out there, especially knowing that Kim was going to be attending the Met Gala.
Thank you all for continuing to support my story and message. I also want to address a few comments I've received and clarify things. I'm currently employed and work 2 jobs while I juggle interviews, social media, answer as many comments, DMs, and emails as I can. When I go to the Met Gala, it's out of my pocket. I'm solo with limited resources. The donations that come in help me do more and stress a bit less. At this point, this is about more than my lowest point. This is about justice, entrepreneurs, and small businesses standing up for ourselves.
I like when he did that because I know there's gonna be some people that really hate on what he's doing, but he's actually trying to tell a story and trying to make a point because not a lot of people in this world are willing to make that big move by exposing the industry in Hollywood of what goes on behind closed doors. What he's trying to do is try to tell a story. And Lord knows that it's not going to be easy by a long shot, but...
Absolutely. And her bodyguard that was in a pic with them the day before was mean mugging me walking past when I was across the street. Another user asked if people were nice to him at the Met Gala, and he responded saying that people were indeed supportive. But now it seems like David has gotten a cease and desist, but that's not stopping him as he states he has nothing to lose at this point. He's going to continue speaking out and continue his mission.
Well, I got a cease and desist email from the Kardashian Bulldog attorneys that I'll clearly be ignoring. It's not defamatory if it's true. They had the nerve to say Kimoji lost $244,000 in his email. This seems like more BS or to show a loss for taxes since they sell stuff with the Kimoji name on it to this day. They didn't address Centigram yet either. I cannot roll my eyes hard enough.
David is even...
They try to scam you. They try to stop you from the so-called famous influencers because you know you're going to win this battle anyway because they're trying to do whatever they can to make you lose when you could just keep going and rise up until that battle is over. Like, make those fake toxic individuals and influencers pay.
Over by the Kardashians to privately reach out to him so that the Kardashians can get exposed for good. He says to not worry about the NDAs and that he'll basically help protect any victims out there.
Anyone else out there with horror stories of working with the Kardashian-Jenner family, whether you worked for them, partners with them, whatever the case may be.
I like how he shouted out Ray J because
please reach out.
Ray J was a victim of the Kardashian
email,
clan.
Comment, DM, whatever. There's very large backing that they will take care of all types of lawsuit. If you have confidentiality, they will back it. This is a major movement now. Please come forward.
To David's surprise, someone did come forward about the Kardashians, and he's been getting a lot of support for helping other victims.
That's good.
Forward.
Breaking news, guys. Another Kardashian victim has come forward.
Oh,
this
shit.
This person will remain anonymous until certain protections are in place. This person lives week to week when they should be retired. It's pretty sad.
Wow.
This could be your grandparent. They had a successful business prior to their partnership with the Kardashians. They can't go one day without thinking about it. And trust me, I get that. They're unavoidable whether we like it or not. I know there are a lot more victims out there, so please come forward and help.
Man, this is getting really, really sad and dark at the same time because you cannot trust Hollywood. You cannot trust the Kardashians because of their shady business of how they run things. You know, just screwing people over that they trusted you and they look up to you, and you turn around and you just do them completely dirty. And it really goes to show you that you cannot trust the Kardashians, social media influencers, people that are in corporate businesses, and not to mention Hollywood in general, because if they're not willing to work with regular people that have the biggest brains and the best mindsets in the industry, then you might as well just not do business with people, period. Better yet, close your company down, because all you're doing is just growing people left and right, causing them divorces, losing their jobs, the welfare, their insurances, everything they worked for is completely slipped off their fingers, just like that. Especially if you're trying to do business with the Kardashians. It is so obvious.
Business practices.
David also recently posted that his Instagram page had gotten deleted amid him speaking out against the Kardashians and trying to continue spreading his message nationwide. Here's what he had to say.
Well, my Instagram page just got deleted. Looks like the Hollywood Mafia is working overtime. I'm working on getting it back,
boy.
But in the meantime, if you guys can please go follow my backup page, D. Liebenson, same as my TikTok. I appreciate you guys.
I'm gonna
Many
give you a
people over
follow
on
too, bruh.
TikTok
You
are
got my
applauding
support
David
all
for
the
what
way.
he's doing, saying things like, "That's what happens when you push someone into the corner, just for greed. Good for you, sir. Thanks to your determination, this is the year that the Kardashian empire crumbles. You're doing such a wonderful
It's
thing.
time.
I'm sure it must be hard, but man, you're an inspiration to all the right people." Anyways, guys, this has been what's been going on with David Levinson and Kim Kardashian and all the updates with this situation. I definitely want to know what you
Shout out to David, and I'm gonna go follow him on TikTok as well. Here's my thoughts on this whole thing. Sometimes in life, when you try to do business with people, knowing full well that their mindset is not right, 9 times out of 10, people get scammed left and right because of their shady business and how they run things in life. But when you look at the Kardashian people in a different perspective, they're known for that sex tape and that dumb reality show that I'm surprised it wasn't even canceled yet, but I think it's canceled. I'm not sure. But those people are so tone deaf because you get famous, your mind and your personality change, and the people around you will somehow become distance from you because of how big of ego you have, especially if you're famous for the wrong reasons. This ain't it. This was never it from the start. So that was an interesting video. Shout out to this creator. I think sometimes when you go into business with someone, you have to make sure that you do a background check on them to make sure that if they're the right partner for you. And so that way, if they are who they say they are, then you'll have a better business partner and both of you will become rich and famous for the right reasons. And instead of flexing on people, and just give back to your community and give back to the people that are poor and try to help them out the best way you can. I think that's what being a social media influencer is. Not taking body pictures on the internet and thinking that you're the shit, in the world, but you're not. So if you want the original video, the link will be in the description. Shout out to David, and I hope he continues to fight and wins this case because it's time for justice, y'all.